Hello everyone, it's me Varus, and in this video I'll be giving you an update on Major Hurricane Melissa, as it's going to bring catastrophic impacts to portions of the islands in the Caribbean and the Bahamas. And I'm also going to give you an update on the US weather, and a really big start to November, going to end up very cold, and Halloween could end up chilly and active as well for portions of the east, and the west could be vice versa. So I'll let you guys know everything in this video, basically everything you need to know on the latest information. Let's get right into it. So I know I said I was going to upload yesterday with the re-upload. Still having problems with my Wi-Fi. It is back today, already really low. Only at 2 bars out of 4, so gonna try to squeeze this one out. Have been working on my winter forecast though, and I'm almost done that, so I think it'll either come tomorrow or Tuesday. So just be prepared. It's either one of those days for sure. And yeah, I'm gonna let you guys know how that goes. So let's start with surface analysis. So right now we have the Con US in motion. So we'll start out in the western US as of 18Z Sunday. So it's getting into late afternoon, early evening Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. Got a low pressure, 2 low pressure systems over here right off the coast of northwestern Cali, and then another low pressure in western Nevada, further north and west. And then we got some stationary fronts attached to that, and then another low out near Wyoming that has kind of this big broad cold front leading up to a low up in Canada with the warm front. So this is a pretty wide disturbance bringing rain and mountain snows, and that should traverse further east, and that could become something even bigger later for the eastern US. I'll show you guys that in a bit. Further south, we have had this low pressure boundary that's been draped over the south. This is in Arkansas. Cold front, stationary front. This has led to some severe spark ups and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast. Nothing too impactful. Currently a slight risk for portions of extreme southern Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana, and portions of the southern Florida panhandle. Or not panhandle. The what do you call it? Yeah, panhandle. So this could lead to some rain, wind, and maybe some small hail, but nothing too impactful there. Besides that, it is a quiet day in the east. Got a big broad high pressure, which has been keeping it seasonable, even cooler than average through the east, and nights have been getting really cold. We've had our first frost advisories for a portion of the north and mid-Atlantic, including portions of I-95 like DC and Baltimore and Philly and NYC. Not yet because of that urban heating island. So let's go over those alerts and indices. So here we are. This is current alerts and indices. Winter weather advisories in the purple, winter storm warnings in the pink. Again, with the upper level Pacific Northwest disturbance bringing lots of snowy weather in the high elevations, especially in the lower elevations, rain. And these kind of sandy colors got some wind advisories for portions of Dakotas, Minnesota, Montana, portions of California, and Nevada. In the central U.S., nothing much before you get back into the northeast, where you got some freeze warnings in the indigos, frost advisories in the lighter blues. Okay, there's portions of New York, Pennsylvania, like Erie, and portions of northeastern Ohio, and the frost advisories for southern New Jersey and the coastal Connecticut area. And then in Florida, got some flood watches up. Again, that's all associated with this little system down here. And if you see on your extreme bottom right part of the screen on the alerts map, you see these reds? Those are some hurricane warnings. So I'm going to zoom into that in a bit. Tropical storm warnings. I'm going to show you guys that with Major Hurricane Melissa. So this is a very interesting storm. Very strong, very devastating. Here you have Jamaica. Okay, north of that you have the southern tip of Cuba. North and east of that you have Haiti, and then obviously the Dominican Republic over there, and some other islands over here. So right now Melissa is a 145 mile per hour major category 4 hurricane. It has been generally moving westward, but it's recently, at least on IR, has slowed down. Okay, you can see the eye has kind of shrinking a little, and it's slowed down, and the cooling tops are starting to circulate more of an even area. Okay, you're getting a lot of evening out on radar with this storm. So through here you have a bunch of evening out. Okay, on the east side it's more convection. You have more convective convection plumes. On the west side, more raggedy, jaggedy, not much going on. So, but besides that, that's a classic indication of what's buzzsaw hurricane, where you got this going on. And then we will see this to continue chug just a little more west before it turns north and landfalls into Jamaica. Second one will be in Cuba, and then we could have a third one maybe in Bahamas later on. But convection wise, really good. Outflow really well. Beautiful small eye going on. It's just a very, very beautiful look, but devastating underneath the hood. So let's see the National Hurricane Center's latest forecast. Hurricane warnings for the whole island of Jamaica. Warnings for eastern portions of Cuba. Tropical storm warnings in the blue. Hurricane watches for portions of Haiti, and tropical storm warnings. So should continue to go west before 2 p.m. Monday. It'll turn north 2 a.m. Tuesday, and I'll expect a landfall somewhere between late morning, midday Tuesday Eastern time into Jamaica. It will start to accelerate in speed, but even right now, it is such a big storm and moving so slow. The tropical storm wind field expands almost through the entire country or island of Jamaica, almost reaching portions of Haiti. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the northern tip of Haiti also gets into some tropical storm warnings, or watch if it does track a little more eastward. If it tracks more westward, maybe some Bahamas will likely get some highlights as well. Maybe we get a landfall on one of these islands. We'll have to watch, but after that, it's out to sea. But lots of stuff to go through. This hurricane won't be in the clear until mid to late week this week, so it's going to be very, very important. If you're in any of Jamaica, eastern Cuba, portions of Bahamas, even portions of Haiti, you got to be having your hurricane plan in place. So, enough of the tropics. I'll keep updating you guys on that as Melissa likely strengthens in a Category 5 and continues to cause devastation. Very, very heavy rain being the main issue, and the wind as well, and storm surge. So, let's talk about what's going on here. So here's your storm system in the Pacific Northwest. You see it kind of swing northeast, and then you see rain swapped here because you got cooler air behind it. So you got a cold front, some warmer air ahead of it. So probably have a warm front and a cool front. You'll have some type of low that forms here. All models in agreement that will have some sort of Halloween week storm, and there you have it popping off. Looks to be really dynamic. I mean, 540 line gets into ports of Mississippi and Alabama, which just shows how dynamic it is. Some high snows also possible in portions of the North Carolina mountains and Virginia. You see it continue to traverse up, and then also some snow for portions of Pennsylvania and West Virginia in the higher elevations before it's out. After that, so that's the main highlight, and then after that it gets a little more cloudy, but you will continue to see an active pattern for the east with continued cool blasts, and it will continue to be this way through the rest of October and into the early week of November, and we'll see how it looks after that. So temperature wise, here's the 6 to 10 day outlook, and you got massive positive PNA in the west, so ridging in the west leading to troughing in the east, except for Maine. And this is a negative EPO signature, classic, especially for the southeast and mid-Atlantic states. Got your below average temperatures, and then 8 to 14 day, it kind of spreads further north, and this is more of a classic negative EPO, as you clearly see the divide between warmth for the positive PNA in the west, and then cooler temperatures in the east for the negative EPO. Cooler, stormier, warmer, drier likely will take place, so a pattern flip for sure. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. I'll see you guys in the next one. Winter forecast coming soon.